Welcome to Riverbend Talent on WBGZ. Brought to you by the Halpin Music Company.
Another Thursday night in the Riverbend. That means another Riverbend Talent right here on the Big Z. Brought to you by the Halpin Music Company and by Mr. Matt Van Voorst of Macias Insurance, of German Insurance up there in Jerseyville. And that means the Sea Shanty Sing-Along is already underway down at Morrison's Irish Pub until 9 o'clock. Possibly an open mic later tonight at the Conservatory. It's hit or miss, so check the link. Lunatics at Fast Eddie's until 10. James Jones up at George's Pub and Grill in Jerseyville until 9 o'clock. Mike Sonderregger at Big Daddy's until 9. Drew Lance, he'll be at Peel Woodfire Pizza until 9 o'clock. Jeremy Drake at the Cabin at Judy Creek until 9 o'clock. Adam Gaffney started at 5:30. He'll go to 8:30 at the Prairie Inn in Dorsey. And the legendary Butch Moore over there at the Broadway Oyster Bar doing his thing. He's played there for many, 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 many years. He's 4 to 6, so he's almost done over there. And speaking of almost done, Pigpen's here.
Overdone. Huh?
Right.
Hello, am I there?
Oh, man.
Yeah, there.
I'm overexcited tonight.
I'm overdone, you're overexcited.
Yeah.
This is great, a perfect combination.
It's great to have Tommy Karlas back.
Yeah, welcome back to the show. The last time we had Tommy on, it was actually over Zoom. He wasn't in the studio.
And, a lot of people had to do Zoom stuff then. We hate to mention why, so we won't.
Yeah, we're trying to forget all that.
Yeah.
It's already been scrubbed from my memory as to why all that.
Absolutely.
It was so I could learn Zoom.
But we do know that Mercury is in retrograde.
We do know that.
Sturgill Simpson is... I'm feeling Sturgill Simpson in my blood right now.
Come on.
Yeah,
Let's go.
Mercury in retrograde, man. Great song by him. Anyway, it is a weird time. It's a perfect time to be here.
Okay, now the official introduction of Tommy Karlas. For those who do not know, Sony Music Nashville, Tennessee, East Alton native, #1 hit country music songwriter, Tommy Karlas, in his 25th year. Oh, my, Tommy, you're getting up there, buddy.
Don't remind me.
Yeah, and tonight we're talking about 3 million streams.
Wow.
300 million as a songwriter, 3 million
Yes, sir.
as a performer. And the last time you were here, we were talking about your debut album.
Yeah, that was just exactly 4 years ago this weekend.
Wow.
Yep.
Man, has it
And
been
Mercury's in retrograde.
Yep, that
See,
time
now
we're
it's
trying to
on.
forget about. We were coming out of it then, but
Yeah.
that was the beginning of the end of the bad part. But yeah, that was my first album.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, and lots happened since then. So we're hoping to get caught up on some of that.
Absolutely.
Yeah, 4 years. We got to cover a lot of ground in the next hour here.
Come
man.
on. A lot happens in the 4 years, especially in the music business.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
But the big deal about 3 million streams is the celebration's happening this Saturday at
Yeah.
Hathaway Hall.
Yes, sir.
And you talked last time you were on about how you'd always envisioned doing a show at Hathaway Hall after leaving here, and you got to do that
Yeah.
with your debut album, and now you're back for another one.
That was an awesome full circle moment. I was my first time ever on stage. I think maybe my second time. I was 13, and it was a talent show over there at Lewis and Clark where they brought the high school kids over there, and we got to do it. And I think I was super nervous. I think I messed up, and it, which was good. I think getting that out of the way early makes you realize, hey, messing up isn't the worst thing in the world. But it was such a cool experience, that theater, and I just always had kind of dreamt of a full circle moment, bringing it back there someday, and especially for the kind of the hit songwriter shows that we do around the country. Like it's the perfect translation from like a Bluebird, songwriter style show into that theater. It's just perfect for it.
So it's interesting to me, and we're going to get a little deeper into this as we go along, that, you experienced it from the songwriter side, and that's what we talked about mostly. Now you're an artist, and you've got to learn how to promote yourself,
Oh, man, yeah.
how to get 3 million streams, which is my big question. How do you get 3 million
Yeah.
streams?
Well, honestly, I mean, I leave that all to the song. I attribute that all to the songwriting because I really, I'm not the full blown like you see the guys going out there trying to hit it huge. It's kind of a supplemental thing that I started because I knew there's kind of a market out there for the songwriter shows around the country, and it's something I love doing. I play the Bluebird 3 or 4 times a year, and it's one of those things. People come to Nashville and they can't get tickets, but there's a whole lot of places out there that would love that kind of style of show, not just a full band thing. And I just kind of tapped into that market a few years ago when I released the album, and really mostly doing the songwriting full time, and that kind of as a supplemental part-time gig. It's cool.
So that album that you're releasing at the time was Put It in Drive.
Yeah.
You've since released a newer album, 2023, right?
Yep.
And that one's called What Matters to Her.
Yep.
Right?
Yep.
And so that's where we're going to start this time.
Yeah.
Now, if people want to go back and check out the last video, we get into some interesting stuff like Montgomery Gentry. You wrote their biggest song as far as streaming goes, right?
Yes, sir. Yeah, I think it was their fastest rising and most downloaded, and they had an incredible career. I was always a huge fan of those guys. They kind of bridged Southern rock with country, and they just kind of had their own demographic inside of country. And my song, whenever I wrote that, I really wasn't picturing them doing it. There was a lot of people that wanted it. In fact, Darius Rucker was one of those people that wanted to do the song. And I wasn't excited about it then because I didn't think he'd be on country radio.
Right.
But looking back, that would have been pretty cool. In the end, I'm glad Montgomery Gentry did it because it was really ended up being awesome.
Yeah, and you got to go out on tour with them, watch them perform your song.
Yep.
And so you've seen a lot of behind-the-scenes stuff, including John Daly.
Yeah, Daly,
partying with them.
Yep.
Nice.
I've hung out a little bit with John. We became friends. He told me I was his favorite songwriter. He probably tells all songwriters that because he wants to write with them. But I don't tell people that part. But no, I met him the first time out there with Montgomery Gentry. I guess that's been 12, 13 years ago. And, it was awesome. Him and I would just hang out we didn't know anybody except each other and the band. So when the band was on, we'd just hang outside stage and, people would come up to him and we'd just have a good time.
So we got pretty deep into, the fact that, you write song for other people back then, and you're excited to do your debut album. And, one of the questions I asked was, is there any songs that, didn't get picked up that you thought might get picked up or should have got picked up, something to that vein? And you brought up the song Lessons, which you got to release.
Yep.
And it did very well for you.
Yeah.
You were dead on there.
Yeah, that was the catalyst for me releasing music in the first place. Was just like, in the 2001 to 2011, that time in country music, if you wrote a song that was truly, truly, truly special, and even before that time, it would get cut. And then country music kind of went in a way where it was all kind of sound the same. Everybody wanted to write their own stuff. And that was one of those songs that I knew would have been cut 10 years earlier, and nobody had done it. So I'm like, well, I just want the song to be out there.
Yeah.
So we ended up releasing that album, and that is what I attribute the 3 million streams to, is pretty much pushed by that song that led people to the other music that I've released. We released it on YouTube, a lyric video, and just kind of a cheap lyric video that somebody just took a lot of time to make cool. And it ended up getting 1 million streams over that next year.
Wow.
You know what, though? He said a lot there. Somebody took the time to make cool, because I have this discussion with musicians and different, people about how come one album by a band can sound so great, and then this other one, I'm not saying it doesn't sound great, but it's just maybe overly polished or whatever. They had they have a bigger budget, but yet I like the sound of it less.
Yeah.
Or it's not, And a lot of times it feels like it comes down to somebody who really, one person took the time to really care.
Yeah.
Somebody took the time to go, hey, let's do this right, where other people are just kind of going, yeah, let's basic mastering, basic mix, push it out.
Yep.
And when you have someone who does take the time, as you say, to make it cool from any aspect, I think that's important.
It is, and it's a funny thing. It took me 20 years to notice, but especially in creativity, like if it's something that's really good, everybody else will pick up on that, and they'll want to make it really good too. If it's something that's average, nobody's going to push it to try to be better than it is.
Yeah.
So it's a snowball thing that just kind of builds on itself, for sure. Yeah.
And like you say, when somebody takes the time, whether it's the arranging, the production, because there's a lot of aspects to a song.
Yeah.
It doesn't cost anything to write a song.
Yeah.
But to get an album out,
Sure.
a lot of different moving parts to something like that. I didn't know when I started playing guitar, I also had to be able to do Facebook to get a gig.
Right.
I mean, I didn't know that was part of it.
Now it's it's a requirement now.
It's a requirement now. You have to do social media.
Yeah.
So
I mean, that's the name of the game. Like, people come up, they're like, hey, what can I do? I'll tell you exactly what you'll do if you have a record deal in Nashville. They're going to have you on TikTok every single day, at least once a day, maybe several times. That's the formula anymore. Yeah. It's a little sad, and there's good parts to all of it too. It's brought back diversity of music because the people are really choosing what becomes big now for the most part. But there's a catch-22.
I was going to say, it's kind of we've talked about it for years. It's sort of a trade-off where as the internet became a thing, suddenly it's not a small group of big guys with fat cigars deciding what we listen to.
Right.
Guys who've never played a note in their life decide what everybody in the world, we're all listening to. But with this freedom of everybody can get their music out there on, there's the ocean is so deep, it's hard to fight the minutia of waves to find that gold nugget sometimes.
It really is.
So it's like there's the good and the bad. Everybody gets to put their music out. That's awesome, because for so many years you didn't.
All right.
However, to stand out and shine in that sea, it is, and it's like you say, you got to be on TikTok every day.
Yep.
If you're with social media, if you're not constantly putting out material, you're lost in the algorithms. And it's so you have to constantly make yourself relevant by constantly putting something out. And if you're just reposting the same thing, people are bored of you already. They barely, if they probably didn't even read the post the whole way the first time.
I mean, if you're going to do that, you really have to want to do that. You really, it has to be the whole thing that you're in for, because you have to be finding what's this thing that I'm going to catch their attention in 3 seconds that's going to go up against everything you're saying, all that other stuff that it's out there. There's a band that I wrote with. I wrote with them the day they signed their deal with Big Machine just a couple months ago. I think it was the Jack Wharf Band, and it was 4 18-year-olds who all had been bartending 6 months earlier in West Virginia, and they put one video out that just blew up. And here they are in Nashville, ready to get it rocking.
Yeah.
So that is the one good side I'll say, is anybody anywhere, some kid in Kansas, if he can make something that's interesting enough to get through all the noise, he could get a shot.
And that's just it. You've got 5 seconds to cut through the noise.
Yeah.
Otherwise, I'm moving on to more noise.
Yep. Exactly.
Very short attention span is what I'm saying here, people.
But you can you can keep on trying as much as you need to. Yeah.
Yeah. Or you can just write songs and not worry so much about that.
That would be my gig.
I was going to say, I learned a long time ago that it's not so much about anybody hearing it, or if you're worried about all that, then you're not really in it for the song so much. So just write the songs, and who cares?
That's right.
Nobody ever hears them. Doesn't matter.
Yeah.
This was a prayer between me and my deity of choice.
That's that's the thing I tell everybody. Figure out why you're doing it. What's the purpose you're doing it? Is it to be big, or is it something that you just need to fill your soul by yourself?
Is it psychology? I'm just trying to work through this thing.
Yep.
I'm trying to work through the day, and this is how I do it.
Yep. And music is perfect for that. I mean, I don't know if we talked about this last time, but I work with a nonprofit called Creative Vets, and there's so many things about that music that helps them heal. That is something we can't even explain. So to your point, I think music is very mysterious and healing in that way.
It is. We always call it going to church, man. And it's not just the feeling that the lyrics can bring, or that the melody can bring, that makes you want to get up and dance, or makes you smile. Those vibrations, there is magic within those vibrations, and a lot of people who don't go see live music really maybe don't understand why some of us chase it all over the country and spend our lives, doing this thing, and it's more than just that good time, because it's that. it's the show's a fun show,
Yeah.
or it's a sad show. I don't know.
No,
You know?
hey, even a sad song has healing powers. In
It
man.
absolutely does. But I sometimes I think it's those vibrations and you know that really affect our bodies. You
Absolutely.
know? And so I've been chasing that a long time now.
Yep, I get it.
since I got my first radio.
Yep. I'm right here with you.
So creativevets.org
Yes, sir.
is the place, and that's Create I Vets.
Yeah, it's
If you're trying to spell it out.
or I always say creative with a TS.
Okay.
.org. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, would you like to hear a little bit about?
Yeah, for
Yes,
sure.
absolutely.
I know Richard Casper was
Yep.
a veteran, and,
Yep.
and he got it going.
Yep.
And his idea was to empower wounded vets to heal through arts and music, which you just kind of talked about.
And he inadvertently discovered that by doing it for himself. He had been in Iraq, and his best friend was his gunner in war who ended up getting killed. And then Richard also had 2 TBIs. And he went back to Chicago, or near Chicago in Illinois, and he took an art class. Somebody encouraged him to take an art class, and the teacher kind of like pushed him to like, hey, do something different. Like, you know, this picture, like make the grass a different color or something. So he made it red for some reason, and then he opened it up to translation to the class, and all of a sudden the class was like giving their translation. He's like, yeah, that's why I chose it, the red, because I love my friend, or because of the blood, or because of, the pain or whatever. And he ended up like, I wonder if this would work with music. And he found a hit songwriter and asked him if he would write with him, a guy named Mark Irwin. And he did, and he just found it to be so incredibly powerful for his own healing that over 10 years ago, he started this organization in Nashville. And I think I've been working with him 6 or 7 years. The first time I did it, I was skeptical. I was like, I don't know how this is going to help anybody. It was actually the ball player Barry Zito. We became buds, and he's like, dude, just come try this with me sometime. And we did it, and even the veteran was kind of skeptical and walked in, and then it ended up being this amazing experience, him going through this stuff and us writing a song about it. And I was hooked, man. It was one of the most fulfilling things I had done, to be able to use this skill in that way and help him kind of translate what he needed to into a song that he can listen to forever.
Yeah.
Well, and we just had that discussion of like what a song means to the songwriter. Sometimes it's therapy. It's what.
Yeah.
But when it comes to somebody else listening to your music, and I said, forget other people, just do it because you do it,
Yeah.
But when it does come to someone else listening, the biggest pat on the back, or the biggest, thing that would, to a songwriter, I believe, is that your music means anything to somebody.
Yeah.
You show the dollar sign, the heat's paid, I get to eat a hot dog or whatever.
Yep.
Everybody needs the money to survive, but really, like, when it comes to an artist, having your art touch somebody, whether it makes them happy, if it makes them feel anything,
Yep.
you feel as though your goal is accomplished
Yeah,
as an artist.
absolutely.
And so to have it not only touch somebody, but in a healing way, and someone, a vet specifically,
Yeah.
I mean, that's got to be a good feeling.
It's great, especially because you consider, like, hey, this is somebody who's been through stuff I can't imagine, who's sacrificed way more than I ever have, or anybody I know, and is going through this thing, and this thing that I know how to do can help him process that, and means a lot to him. It's awesome. It's one of the coolest things I've got to do. I do want to give a shout out. There's actually, I go all over the country writing with groups and stuff, and veterans and one-on-one, but there's a group actually here in Edwardsville, an organization that I've done a couple times. It's called I Got Your Six. Have you guys heard of this?
No.
Yeah, Got Your Six. Out of all the places that I've been to, it's one of the most powerful. They basically usually have about 75 or 100 applicants that apply to get a service dog for their specific needs.
Nice.
And basically they narrow that down to 5 or 6 guys, and they spend 18 months training these dogs for these 5 guys to come for 2 weeks and to learn how to train these dogs. They spend, their whole organization is just for those 5 dogs in that 18 months.
Wow.
And these guys come there and they spend these 2 weeks there building this relationship with these dogs. And all these guys, every single one of them deserve to be there. I mean, the stuff they've gone through, the stuff they've sacrificed. And some of them, it's not like, hey, this is an added thing. Some of them, it's this was my last hope to try to find a reason to be, and it does. It brings them back, and Creative Vets comes in at the end of that and kind of helps them kind of look into it a little bit deeper with the psychological part, or just write a song about it at the very least. But it's just one of the organizations that moved me the most. Got Your Six. If you guys don't know about it, look into it. It's amazing.
Yeah, and just the idea, the way you've explained it, where they got 2 weeks where they're going to form a relationship, and whether you want to or not. I've had cats move into my house that I didn't necessarily want to happen, and it doesn't matter after a week. This is my buddy.
Yeah, that's part of your family.
Right, it's part of the family now, and you can't help it. You do form a relationship. Maybe not everybody, but I think most people, you can't help it. When they come up, dog comes up wanting pet, like, oh, what's up, little buddy?
Absolutely.
But what a great idea, because a lot of times I don't, I can only guess, and that's, as an outside perspective, watching people that, I known some vets, some injured vets, different, and it's like, I think sometimes when they've gone through so much, it's hard to come back and start forming relationships because you just saw all your relationships blown apart. And
you were trained to do that one thing, and then they don't teach you how to come back. They basically say, hey, you're done, you're gone, and they don't even want to leave half the time.
It's sad, but it's been that way. My uncle was sent to World War II, and he was 18 and on a farm. They said, do you have any training with horses? Yeah. Well, you're in charge of 50 guys.
Yeah.
He never stopped hunting Germans.
Right? Can you imagine that?
He lived in St. Genevieve, from World War II until 20 years, 15 years ago, 20 years ago when he finally passed. You know, in a mental hospital, because he, that's all he's going to do now.
Yeah,
he's going to hunt Germans.
you
know, and once you see somebody that's in that situation, let alone a whole huge building in St. Genevieve full of them, you realize, wow, that you go through things, our brain is the computer in charge of us. and sometimes, like a virus gets in there, or a program takes over that you can't delete. You can't, you can't scrub the browser on this one.
Yeah, and we didn't understand these things, especially back then. Yeah. But now that we are, it is our responsibility to help these guys, and it's fine. And that's what Creative Vets does. The guys that run that, they wake up every day thinking 22 people a day. That's the number. How are we going to lower that number? And that's how everyone is in the organization.
And again, to treat these issues with music, with relationships, starting with a pet, because once you form this relationship with the pet, it becomes easier now to form a relationship with another human, because you've broke that barrier.
You're opening up.
Yeah, you're opening up. Much better than my uncle, who was just given medication and carted around for 50 years. Because this is a chance at something more than doing the Thorazine shuffle.
Exactly, and dealing with the actual root issue that might actually change.
Yeah. So you add a little ayahuasca in here, man. We got everything.
Hey, I'm telling you, there's something to that too.
Absolutely.
They need to, and I'm glad, because some people are checking into that. I've been to a lot of military conferences, and I think that's going to be something in the future for sure.
It is a huge thing that can break down barriers that it might not be pretty going through the process.
Yeah.
But on the other side, in a short window, what could take 10 years of therapy can be done in 72 hours here, bro. And it's a mystical thing, but shaman been doing this, for centuries.
Yeah, there's a reason for that, and people need to take it seriously, because it's powerful.
Yeah, and hold on, baby. We're gonna blast off here. I make jokes, but in all honesty, I brought it. I kind of just threw it out there randomly, but to me, that's a powerful medicine that you use that in conjunction with these other therapies, and I believe people can be helped much quicker.
Absolutely.
So,
there's
in
yeah.
a more righteous way, not just like you
Sure.
said, medicating them and smoothing it over, man.
That's
We're
right.
going to really get you back
Deal
to just
with-
being
deal with the
a
core
human
issue.
being.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
And so that's beautiful, man. I really want to look into that Got Your Six. Never heard of that.
Yeah,
so.
Got Your Six. And the last thing I'll say about Creative Vets is they basically they've helped several thousand. They've got several thousand on the wait list. But their main program brings the 5 guys 8 times a year, 10 times a year to Nashville. Bring them to Nashville, pay for the travel and everything. They pair them up with a mentor that's gone through the program, and then they pair them up with 2 hit songwriters. They go backstage at the Opry, and they spend the whole day just in that room telling their story and writing a song. At the end of the day, they give them a guitar, which they will help them with lessons if they want to keep learning how to play. And then the next day, they go in and record them with the best musicians in the world. So
wow.
Those songs, if you ask Alexa to play best songs by veteran, they are those Creative Vet songs that they wrote. It's pretty cool.
Now,
That's super cool.
That is super cool. That pairing them up with a mentor has been through it that way. They have someone who understands.
Oh, that's a huge part of it.
Yeah, I was going to say that,
Yeah.
that when you said that, I'm like, that is so genius
Yep.
to not just say, hey, here's a songwriter. You
Yep.
guys get together and do this thing.
Yep.
But then to give them 2 songwriters, too, because now it's not. There's a wider spectrum
Yep.
of where we're going. You don't have a guy who's already sort of locked into this sort of thing necessarily.
Exactly.
Because it always pushes you
Yep.
in those situations. But wow, to get to have the whole day to just tell their story and have some guys forge that into,
Yeah.
man, what a. I got goosebumps.
No,
over
it's
here,
awesome.
man.
I'm telling you, it's moving.
For sure.
That's
You know,
amazing.
Every week we talk about how important it is to our community to have live music, and we've never mentioned that. So
No.
I appreciate that. That's big time. I mean, you can't get any bigger than that right there.
Absolutely.
And speaking of blasting off, the show this Saturday at Hathaway Hall will blast off promptly at 6 o'clock. Of course, the doors open at 5:15, and kicking things off, local teacher, your buddy that you started with,
Yep.
Charlie Brown.
Yep.
Nice.
And I'm not sure how to say Aaron's last name.
Aaron KELLIM.
KELLIM?
Yeah.
And so are they going to do like a duet or trade-off?
They'll
or-
basically do like the songwriter rounds in Nashville, like a Nashville songwriter round as an opener. They'll go back and forth trading off songs,
Nice.
3 or 4 songs. Yeah.
Nice.
Charlie's done it several years in the past, and Aaron was somebody who Charlie's worked with a lot, and I listen to his music. He sounds great. He's a local guy too. So yeah, I'm looking forward to kind of hearing him as well.
And that's always fun when you got a couple, 2, 3 guys, 2, 3
Exactly.
albums up there.
Yep.
I got to see Christopherson and Waylon Jennings do that one
Oh,
night,
dude.
just sitting on bar stools next to
Where,
each other.
where was that at?
Right at the pageant right over
You're
here.
kidding me.
I got the set list from Christopherson from that. No, that was a different show. I did get a Christopherson set
Wow,
list off that
what
stage.
year was that? Like 80s?
I would know that was
90s?
in the 2000s because I was working for Casey
Okay.
at the time. I do believe.
Yeah.
They would give me tickets to all kinds
Wow.
of really
Dude.
cool stuff. But,
Wow.
yeah, me and my wife the whole night were like, so man, who's gonna open, Chris? Or it was Merle Haggard. It was Chris and Merle, I think. I can't remember. It's been so dang long.
Sure.
And I've seen so many shows. They all meld together
Of
into one.
course.
But I do remember walking out there and seeing the 2 bar stools and going, oh, they're going to get up there together.
Dude, that's sick.
And then they just sat there laughing, and one band backed them, and they just,
Yep.
yeah, it was,
Just did what they love.
well, yeah, one of the many nights that I can remember portions of.
I'm sure.
little bits and pieces.
So Charlie Brown and Aaron Kellum kick
Nice.
things off at 6 o'clock, and then you're going to come on with a special guest.
Yeah, I'm going to bring a guy that I play the most of my shows with. He's another hit songwriter. His name's Joel SHEWMAKE. He wrote Family Man for Craig Campbell, and he's had some other big songs out there. But he's one of those guys, like, we're brothers, we're friends, we play a ton of music together, and he's an amazing songwriter and talent, and he will accompany me a lot on the guitar and harmonies and stuff, and then I'll give him a little section to play, because if there was somebody I was picking to just go watch, he would be that guy. So I think other people will enjoy him too.
Nice.
Yeah.
So if people want tickets, they can go to TommyKarlasMusic.com.
Yep, it's Tommy Karlas with a K, TommyKarlasMusic.com or TommyKarlasLive.eventbrite.com, either one of those.
Now, do you know if they have them out there at Lewis and Clark too as well?
I think we're going to have something set up, hopefully, to where you can either Venmo or pay cash, like pay $40 to come in that day. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, because tickets are going fast is what I hear.
Yep.
Yeah,
Yep.
so
we're hoping to fill it up.
So that's also co-sponsored by Lewis and Clark Community College Music Department, right?
Yeah. Yep. I basically help them do some clinics here and there, and just since I went to school there, and people who are interested in the music business that kind of want to learn about what it's like, or whatever their specific thing is, just kind of get to hear about what the actual music business is like, good or bad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So last time, I believe you even gave copies of the CD out as part of the ticket.
Yeah. Yep.
Are you doing that again?
Well, we're not really releasing any new music with this one.
Okay.
The whole point of this, man, was just we hit that 300 million stream number, and the catch with that is that whenever streaming was invented, it kind of cut the songwriter out of that, and that can make you kind of just pass over that number. And there's so much about this job that is rejection for a living. So I just was like, you know what? Let's take a second to celebrate that number, because it's kind of hard to fathom a little bit,
For sure.
It'd be easy to just go over it and be like, "Oh, no big deal,"
And
I
so
looked at
often,
that number on paper and I'm like, let me count here. That's
Yeah.
1,000.
How many
That's
zeros is
100,000.
there?
Wait a minute. This is 300 million. Oh my God.
Yeah.
And you're right, though. Like, a lot of times it's so easy to gloss through the good times. And you sit and you sit on that pile of bad times like it's never going to go away. And we talk about that even with songwriting. It's easy to write a sad song.
Yeah.
Because you're sad.
Yeah.
And it's therapy and you get it out. But you don't stop and write all the good stuff because you're enjoying this day.
Right.
I'm not going to stop and write about it.
That's right.
Yep. And it's great to take a moment and enjoy the victory, because it would be easy to just go, wow, that was cool.
Yeah.
And just let's push on to
Right.
the next day. But
Yeah.
hey, I like any reason to celebrate. It's Tuesday.
Come on.
For sure. And one thing you are doing again this year, or this show, is you got an after party planned at the Moose in Wood River.
Yep, that's going to be
Nice.
that's included with the ticket to the show. That'll get you into the after party. Yeah, we're just going to have a chance to hang out, because you play a show normally, you don't get to talk to everybody, and this is my hometown, so I'll get to actually hang out and maybe play a few songs at the after party.
I was going to
too.
say, they do some music there. So
Yeah, I think we'll set something up.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And you're going to have some musicians in the house there, too.
Oh, I
at the
think
after
so.
party.
Yeah. I'm trying to get my old buddy Nick Douglas, who was in my band before I moved to Nashville. I'm trying to get him to come out and play a little guitar too.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I think Billy Hurst has his big anniversary this weekend, right?
Yeah, that's why he couldn't do the show.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. Yep. He what's the name of it?
Riverbend Records, yeah.
Riverbend Records, man. He started that just on kind of that's a gamble thing to do, and look at it now, man.
Yeah.
Good
Yeah.
for him.
Yeah.
That to open a record store, used record store at that particular time
Yeah.
in history,
Yeah.
as streaming's getting bigger,
Right.
But you know what? I got a 17-year-old daughter who 2 years ago said, "Dad, can you give me a record player and buy me my favorite record?"
Yeah.
And now she loves to go out. I
Yep.
mean, she's got a collection of records at this point.
Yep.
And it's awesome to see younger people getting into that and going, wow, there's so much more depth
Yep.
to this sound than
Yep.
what's coming through these MP3s that they
Yep.
they send you. Which hey, nothing against the new world.
No.
It's nice to be able to carry a gizmo in your pocket that you can listen to any song, anywhere, anytime. There's something awesome about that, but they're a little thin.
It's hard to beat old school cool like the records. Yeah.
Well, the depth of the sound of even wave files compared to MP3s is big. But you go
100%.
back to like the old vinyl, you're like, oh,
Yeah.
listen to Miles Horn.
Yeah. Yep. And it's an awesome store too. It's a cool
It is.
store.
For sure.
Yeah.
It's a cool place just to kind of go in there and beat around. You're going to find something you like, whatever kind of music you like. There's a lot in there, and when I do go in there, like to take my daughter, or to pick up an album for my daughter, it's hard
Yeah.
for me to get out of there.
Yeah.
Like, oh, look, there's an old Clash
Yeah.
album.
Yep. 100%.
Yeah. So what the folks on the radio don't know, but the folks on the video are obviously going to be able to tell that Tommy brought one of his friends with him. His good old acoustic guitar.
Yep.
Yeah, and that means we're going to attempt to play a song.
We are?
No, well,
Yeah,
I
with
got to
it, man.
run sound. So
Have you guys ever done?
just-
You've done. Have you done a live guitar?
I think
on here
we've
before?
done it.
we
There's a
actually,
song about a moth once.
that's
right.
right.
Okay.
Yeah. That was
man, I wanna
that was
hear
a
that.
beautiful song.
Yeah.
I kind of forgot about that.
Yeah, and the story was the moth, since you like stories and songs, Tommy, the moth landed on this girl's hand and laid its eggs there. And so moths choose where they're going to lay their eggs in a safe spot. So that inspired her to write a song that this moth had landed on her.
You're
and
kidding me.
Yeah, isn't that something?
That's cool.
Yeah.
Couldn't wash her hands for weeks now. I don't know if that was in the song. But
So I was wondering maybe I should, now that I teased that Tommy's going to play,
yeah.
I maybe do some gigs real quick.
Yeah, do it.
So
Do
we'll talk about what's going on Friday. We got Mila Duffy down in Morrison's Irish Pub until 10 o'clock on Friday. Hammerhead going to be at the Flock from 6 to 9. Anthony and Annie, 1:30, and Crossroads at 7 o'clock at Fast Eddie's. Buzz Tones out the BFW from 7 to 11, and Soulshine Groove out at Baker's and Hale from 7 to 11. Travis Holtz out at the Locks Brick House in Bethalto from 7 to 10. Our buddy Jay Hollinger, he's going to be up at George's Pub and Grill in Jerseyville
Love Jay.
from 6 to 9. Carl Mager, 3 to 7 at Aries. Outlaw Opry, some country boys there, 7 to 11 at the Grafton Pub. And Rewind going to be at the Neighborhood Social Club in Granite City. The New Prairie Drifters at Jacob Myers in Granite City. The Fry Project at Tegan's in Granite City from 7 to 11. And Jazz Night with Lady K, I think is how you say it actually, 7 to 10 at the Speakeasy in Granite City. So just a few of them going on Friday night. How about a Casanova Quartet from 6 to 8, and then a Rock Bottom, 9 o'clock. The backstage in Edwardsville. Mo Pleasure around the corner. Big Daddies from 6 to 9. Taylor Steele, 5 to 8 at the Stagger Inn, and Lost Cause at the 1818 Chop House, where we're still trying to vie for the bands to get a steak when they play there. Right,
yeah,
so.
absolutely, man.
How about Hell and Back, 7 to 11 at the Cabin at Judy Creek, and Lanny and Julie going to be at the Wooden Nickel in Glen Carbon on Friday, and the Fellas, 6 o'clock at Long Shots, where they're interrupted every 15 minutes, right?
Every 19 minutes, the
that's
place
at
goes
Fairmont
wild,
Park,
man.
right? Yeah. So we got Blue Marlin playing down
Nice.
in the Silver Creek Sports and Social in Belleville, and Kevin Wangaroon up in Eldred, and the Down Bads have their album release party with guest Michael Blakely and the Bandits of Time and Hallison. And that's going to be at Off-Broadway. So congratulations to the Down Bads.
Yeah. And I like the band playing with them there, the Bandits of Time. See, if they can't call themselves the Time Bandits, there's
Right.
already a copyright on that. So,
Yeah, and then on Saturday we got the legendary Butch Moore right here at Shea Maryland's
Nice.
from 7 until 9. And, of course, we always got Shelby and friends down there, Bubby and Sissy, doing the live drag performances. And it's Cooliverse night, Pigpen,
oh, yeah.
Saturday night with art by Itchy and music by Sometimes It's Foggy and Sometimes It's Clear.
All right.
6 o'clock. They're
Itchy.
looking for a singer, or one of his projects, Joshua Grassley. So, Borderline. There's some friends of Tommy's right there. They're playing 1:30 at Fast Eddie's, and then Shotgun Creek, another great country band, from 7 to 11 at Fast Eddie's. And, Borderline's then going to go play the Halloween party at the VFW from 8 until midnight. And so, what a day for
Busy.
the Borderline crew. And of course, Bronco. Of course, Tommy Karlas is playing.
Yeah.
Can't forget him.
With Aaron Kellum and Charlie Brown and his guest Joel SHEWMAKE. And tell us about Joel. Is he a Nashville guy or?
Yeah, he's kind of whenever I moved to Nashville, there was 2,000 signed writers on Music Row, like in all of country music, that did it professionally. And because of streaming and all that stuff, that basically has decimated our profession by about 70%. There's maybe 300, 400, 500 people now
Wow.
writing songs. So, and most of them are new, younger guys. So Joel and I are kind of one of those old veteran dogs that are still around doing this thing because we're crazy enough to stick with it.
Right.
But yeah, Joel is he's such an incredible talent. That's why he's still around and just loves playing music and does what he does, and it serves him. Yep.
All right, well, there's your inspiration
Yep.
for the song you're about to play,
Yeah.
which you've held captive from us and not going to let us do. We're seeing, has your mind changed on which one you're going to play as the show's been going on, or?
Yeah, a little bit. I'm trying to do some new ones since we're doing the 300 million stream celebration. I'm trying to learn all the songs that are on that, even the ones that I normally don't play. They're not quite up my alley, but yeah, I've practiced them a little bit. I can. I don't know how many you want me to do here today.
Well, we'll start with one.
Okay, let's start with one.
Yeah.
Oh.
And we'll see how that goes as far as the sound. I'll
You
try
got
to see what I can do there.
We'll stick with the one that gave me basically pushed the 3 million streams to me as an artist.
There you go. I don't have much chord there, Big Ben.
Check
But that
one,
does
two.
help.
Song called Lessons. A bully won't stop till you stand up to it. You ain't gonna win if you plan on losing. Sometimes a curse can be a blessing. So wait your turn and learn your lessons. Don't hold a grudge, it'll make you bitter. Don't think that money's gonna make you richer. And happiness ain't about possessions. Gotta crash and burn and learn your lessons. You can't win them all. You can't change your past. Don't take for granted what you got. Don't always want what you don't have. Take some chances, have some faith. Make the most of every day. 'Cause it could all be over in a second. Don't miss a day with your old man fishing. Or a cup of coffee in your mama's kitchen. 'Cause life is short, time is precious. Sometimes it hurts to learn your lessons. You can't win them all. You can't change the past. Don't take for granted what you got. Don't always want what you don't have. Take some chances, have some faith. Make the most of every day. 'Cause it could all be over in a second. Don't break her heart if you know you love her. Don't let her leave 'cause you're too dang stubborn. 'Cause she'll move on and you'll regret it. Hold on to her and learn your lessons. Every choice has consequences. Take it from me and learn your lessons.
Oh, yeah.
Oh man, that's why he's
Thank
a
you.
professional songwriter.
Yeah, for sure.
That was a great song.
And that's a song we talked about earlier that he didn't get picked up. You know, he talked to us last time he was here about the tip sheets, right? We learned all about
right.
that. You know, they get tip sheets that give you kind of an idea what an artist is looking for.
Yep.
And then you kind of, base what you're going to present to them off that tip sheet.
Yep.
And this is one that didn't really, get picked up and kind of hung out for a minute.
It's it's not that it still couldn't get picked up, because some of the greatest songs, like The House That Built Me, I think that took like 10 years to get cut. But it was one of those where it's usually, if it doesn't get that first round, it takes a while. And at first, Blake Shelton had it on hold for 9 months, and then somebody else had it for a couple months, but then it just kind of fell off. If the timing, everything has to line up just right. I mean, it's crazy. Like my buddy, one of my best buds, Dave Turnbull, he was basically in a place he was thinking about moving away or starting a fence company or, doing construction, whatever. And he had written this song that somebody had got to Luke Combs, and like they couldn't record the song they wanted to there, so they were like, hey, what else do we got? Let's just listen to the song. He's like, oh, let's do this one. What do you remember the song? Out Where the Wild Things Are ended up being a multi-week #1 a couple of years ago, last year for Luke Combs. But it's timing, man. It's just,
everything's got to line up. The stars.
Exactly.
Mercury must be in retrograde.
Exactly. And it is.
I'm just saying.
It is, according to my beautiful girlfriend who's in the studio.
Yes. and she had told us that before the show, and we've been messing with her ever since. So,
but
including when I say you brought a friend along, and I talked about you.
Yeah. I got that.
So you talk about everything lining up, and I know what you mean. It's like it's got to line up to what the artist is looking to put out at that moment. They've got this, maybe an album, and I like that song, but it just doesn't fit this project, or at this particular moment I'm thinking something else. But I don't see how a song like that didn't just make people go, whatever.
Well, I think
that's a great song.
I think we've touched on it.
Yeah.
The stars were supposed to line up so he could perform that song on his record.
And
because look what it did.
It is. Yeah.
I'm still hopeful. I mean, the last person was Jake Owen, was talking about doing it next time he does a country album. He said he wanted to give it a try when he's in the studio. So we'll see. You never know.
Right. They can't do it as good as you, Tom.
Well, I appreciate that. Thank you.
Yeah. The line about mom and dad gives me goosebumps every time I hear that.
Thanks,
man. That's amazing. And, I thought to myself, it actually brought up a question, because I checked that out before you came in. And I thought to myself, if you write a song, and I'm sure this has happened, that's that pace, they hear it that way, and then they go, you know what, I like it, but I want to speed it up.
Yeah.
I want to add some fiddle. That happens probably from time to time.
Oh yeah, it absolutely does. One of my best buds is Trent Willman, who produces Cody Johnson, and that song "Till You Can't," which is very much like Lessons. It was we wrote Lessons before that song came out, but that song is one of those where Trent was like, "Hey, let's speed this up," and now that's kind of the genius of the song, and why it was like Song of the Year nominated for it, is because it has this kind of message to it, but keeps it up tempo. That's kind of it's a hard thing to do.
And this is something I just learned maybe in the past year. I'm this old and I'm still this dumb. It's so crazy.
Well, you always learn lessons.
Yeah,
right?
You know me. I don't learn lessons.
You might not. But most people do.
But if you take a song and it's an up-tempo song and it's a feel-good song.
Yeah.
But if you slow it down and you can do this exact same progression, exact same lyrics, but with a different tempo and cadence, it can become a sad song.
Oh, it can
just
be.
by the way you put it across, and you haven't changed the arrangement, you haven't changed the words, you've merely changed the cadence and the tempo, and you're like, oh wow, that song was such a happy song, and now I'm sad.
Exactly.
And so someone can take a song that you maybe have in mind, more of a sad song, and suddenly they can change it into not so, And it might not be what you had in mind, but as a guy who's writing songs professionally, you know from the get-go, you're going to hand these off, and they're going to do what they want with them in the end.
Exactly.
And that's where the thought came from for me. I'm reading the lyrics or listening to the lyrics, and I'm thinking, this is actually very positive lyrics, very upbeat.
Oh,
so I mean, if somebody wanted to, jam this thing, it'd be just as uplifting.
That's exactly what the thought I had. I'm like, man, those lyrics were all so positive, but yet the cadence and the tempo had this really melancholy sort of feel.
Sure.
And it's because I believe that as hey man, it's time to learn some lessons. Bro.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's go.
Is that
You
very-
know,
yeah,
you know.
exactly.
Yep.
If you learn these lessons, it will be positive and uplifting. But until you do,
Yep.
here we sit.
Yep.
You know, it's sort of the feeling that it left me with.
Yep.
Which, as I said, I don't learn lessons, so
Yeah.
I'm always sort of there. You know?
Well, and to your point too, like you know, my first big song, "Roll with Me," there was a lot of people that had it on hold, and in fact, Dirk Bentley's people want it. Normally, they can do the production anything they want, but they can't change a lyric without your permission. And they wanted to change my favorite song and my favorite line in the song it was all built around, and it was kind of a big thing when my publisher got mad at me because I told him no, they can't do that. And you know, now I'm in a place where I probably would have said yes, but back then I stuck to my guns. So.
Yeah. That's cool. That's interesting. Yeah. So
Hilarious.
here's one that Pigpen brings up from time to time when we bring your name up during the show. So the last time you were here, you had just signed a new deal with Sony, and you've signed another one since then in 2023. So Pigpen always goes, I think it's like 5, 6, how many different ones? And, you know, you talked about how much, you know, you'd be bartending in between some of these deals.
Yep.
And how long it took to so explain to us what that is. So is Sony like just renewing your contract when they do that now, or do you have to go through a process to?
It's both. So at first, I signed a deal, you know, for 2 years solid. So they have to keep me for 2 years and pay me and do all their, you know, responsibilities. But then in that contract, they had 2 extra years that they could pick up. It's kind of like a sports contract.
Okay.
Gotcha. Yeah.
And then after that contract ran out, they wanted to re-up, so we did a new contract to basically keep it going, and that's what we just did last August.
So
Nice.
so did Barry Zito like get his agent to help you with that contract?
Well, yeah, I wish
he
he
had
would
some
have.
nice ones.
Oh man, you know, all that came from his dad. Actually, his dad was a small businessman,
right.
and his dad was just brought this new genius way into sports negotiating. I think it was something like that nobody had ever done before, where he was like, "Hey, you know, if you get this much, you get 6%. You get this much, you get 7%. You get this much, you get 8." And that just drove him to make it the most lucrative contract in MLB history up to that point.
Right.
It's kind of genius, man. Just small town dudes know what they're doing. You know?
That's awesome. Yeah, that's awesome. So once again, we're talking about Saturday. Tommy is celebrating 300 million streams. I can't believe I'm saying that.
It's a big number.
And that's over his entire career. But, I mean, you got 3 million for that song Lessons, right?
Yeah, man, that was way more than
See?
I thought. When we put that out, I thought, man, I'll be happy if I get 20 or 30,000 streams. I really felt that way. So to have that happen has just been awesome.
Yeah, and 300 million, it's like this unfathomable number to most of us. It's just like, oh, that's a bunch of zeros there, you know. And that is a great, I'm not taking away, that's a huge accomplishment.
Sure.
I don't know anybody else who's done it. Sure. But 3 million on a song that you wrote, you sang,
Yep.
you know, you performed, that is, especially a song like, I've never really thought about this much, except for in these conversations,
Yeah.
the idea that, you know, when you're a professional songwriter, like he brought up the sheets, the
Tip sheets, yeah.
tip sheets. You know, that's a weird way to think about songwriting on
It
some
is.
level.
No,
It's
it
commercial
is.
art.
Absolutely.
It's you don't just get to draw the Mona Lisa. We're paying you to draw the Mona Lisa in front of this grocery store with a bag. You know what I mean?
Right.
And but it's still songwriting.
Yeah.
However, that Lessons felt like a pretty personal song, that it wasn't you weren't led to that song from a tip sheet.
No.
That song was you.
Yeah.
And you can feel that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So to get to take a song that wasn't, well, originally this was supposed to be for David Carradine to do,
Yeah,
you know,
right.
he hung himself and you know,
Right.
whatever. You know, to take a song that is personal to you and then see it do something like that. Wow. Again, goosebumps over here, man.
No.
You know, like that is an amazing, both are amazing feats.
I'm with you. I mean, I was shocked by that, but again, it's the power of the song, man.
Yeah,
For sure.
song.
Yeah.
For sure.
And that is a powerful song, so
Thank
I
you.
can see where that happened.
So Hathaway Hall, Lewis and Clark Community College is Saturday.
Yes,
Yeah.
sir.
Tommy Karlas, sorry about that.
No, I get called Karlas.
300
all the time.
million streams throughout his career. And Gonna have some buddies with him, including the legendary Wood River native Charlie Brown.
Yep.
Aaron KELLIM. I guess he's probably from Wood River, maybe, huh?
Yeah, I think maybe Bethalto.
Okay.
But he's from this area, yeah.
Right. And then you're bringing your buddy Joel SHEWMAKE along.
Yep.
It says and more on here.
It was supposed to be and more, and then Joel was the and here's the other thing. Ward Davis is a good buddy of mine, and if he was coming through here, there was a slight chance he might be able to get up.
Okay.
But he's big enough to that point where I can't put his name on anything.
I see.
So he's the and more. But I don't think he's gonna be able to make it.
Okay.
I think he's with Cody Jinks in Hawaii somewhere,
Wow,
living it
nice.
up. So good for
Hippies
him.
and cowboys.
Right? Come on.
So, plus, Tommy doesn't know, but I'm going to bring back streaking on Saturday night.
Lewis and Clark, it's a perfect place for it.
I've streaked across Hathaway
Yeah,
Hall
just-
before, man.
Just go to Eventbrite if you want to see it.
Right. Won't be
Tommy
my-
Karlas Live at Eventbrite.
Hey, so you know, before, like, I don't know if you got anything on Saturday you feel like needs to be mentioned, but before we do that, real quick, I want to bring up a point to anybody out there who is a songwriter, or wants to be a songwriter. Todd Snyder, a great songwriter from East Nashville, would say, "Hey, don't be scared. Just come down to Nashville and do it. Give up those fears if you're afraid." You have just inspired me to go, man, maybe it's my shot, because there used to be 2,000 of them. It's down to 700. This sounds like the time to strike, people. I'm a numbers man. This tells me my odds are better right now at getting published than ever before.
Yeah.
I've heard your songs, Big Fan.
Yeah, I know. I don't mean me personally. I'm saying maybe some of these other folks.
Maybe somebody listening.
Maybe that Mimosa song would aged by now, but I don't know. Had to bring up maybe
Moses.
Liquid Courage. I don't know. Anyway,
How come all my songs are about alcohol somehow in the end? I don't. Anyway.
yeah.
You would be good for country.
Yeah. So the doors are at 5:15 on Saturday, and the show starts at 6. And with your ticket, you get to go to the after party, where I'm sure, like, if somebody wants to come up and talk to you about anything,
Of course.
Nashville, you'll be there to talk to them a little
course.
bit. Yeah.
Yeah.
Sign some autographs, whatever. You're a big music star now, which I want to bring up because that wasn't your plan. Your plan was to be a songwriter first,
Yep.
which I thought was brilliant. And your reasoning was that you had a better shot, you thought, as a songwriter than
Yeah.
as a performer in Nashville.
Yeah, I mean, here's the funny thing. Being a songwriter back then was the secure profession. So that, to me, was the first thing, is I wanted to have that security. It's different now. It's completely the opposite. But, yes, I knew people would take me more seriously if I was just a songwriter. Because even I have that bias. Like, somebody's like, are they just a songwriter? Okay, I take them serious as a songwriter. They're an artist, too. It's like they're like everybody else there that's just trying to be famous. you know?
Right.
So since you started releasing albums, have you toured a little bit and played around the country a little bit? I'm
Yeah.
sure that's all part of promoting, right?
Yeah, I've slowly built kind of this circuit of places just across the country. I'm going to Arizona next week. I'm going to Washington, D.C. next week. Just kind of in the spring and fall especially, just usually bring the kind of Bluebird style like this show just around the country. There's just a huge market for it. So I'm just trying to get as many of those as I can because it's fun and I get to go just, and it's low overhead. I just bring me in a couple songwriters and a few guitars and it's easy and people love it. It's
So
cool.
are you booking your own shows too?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nice.
DIY, man.
Yeah, I was gonna, that's
it
the only
yourself,
way you
baby.
can do it these days. You
Yep.
know?
Yeah. So there you go, kids. I mean,
Yeah. It's
it just keeps going like
No,
that forever,
If I
right?
say my people, call your people, that's me.
Yeah, for real. It's just business lingo.
That's right.
right.
I might pretend to be someone else, but it's just me.
Learned that from Barry Zito's dad.
That's right.
I'll have my assistant call you. He sounds just like me.
Right, exactly.
No, but that's why I brought it up. You talked about, a small town business mind. Well, I think you had that in the beginning when you said, look, I'm going to go songwriter.
Yep.
That's a path I'm going to choose first. So
Well, and like you mentioned, that was the more secure gig, and some people might say, well, what do you mean? You're not a star. No one even knows. Yeah, but a star, it shoots fast, man.
Yeah.
I mean, it's there are some people, there are Willie Nelsons out there.
Yeah.
But not everybody's Willie Nelson, man. Most people, it's a short flash pot. You got a couple years to strike and make some money.
Yep.
And as a songwriter, as these stars come and go, you're still
That's
handing
right.
them their songs, man.
Yep,
and
you
and you're
develop
getting
a craft and you develop a name, and it's a small business. It really is. I mean, it's 2 one-way streets, 5-block period. It's pretty much all country music. So if you can get in there and you can show people you know what you're doing, you can do it for a long time.
Okay, Pig Ben, I want you to hold off for just a second.
All right.
Now I'm gonna talk to Tommy here about this promoting thing that he's learned, and what I need from you now, Tommy, is I need a sound bite for our newscast.
Yeah.
All right, and I want you to tell people why they should come out Saturday and kind of give us a little.
Okay.
All right.
Yeah. Yeah, if you've ever been to if you've ever wanted to go through Nashville and see a hit songwriter around, ever been tried to get into Bluebird or anything like that, it's not like anything you've ever seen before. This is just kind of one of those opportunities to bring Nashville to Godfrey, Illinois, at Lewis and Clark Community College. Hit songwriter round. We're going to be playing all the songs that got me to 300 million streams. A few of them you might know. Get to hear the actual songwriter play them, hear the story behind the songs, and quite a few other talented artists.
Beautiful. You've learned a lot since
Thank
the
you.
last time we talked. You done a lot of radio since the last time we talked?
I've done a fair amount.
Yeah?
But yeah.
Yeah, it's all part of it, I guess.
Yeah.
And we appreciate 100% like you coming down and talking
Oh
to us.
man.
Yeah.
We got 400 subscribers. I mean,
Let's go.
we're big time.
Hey, I appreciate y'all having me.
We've got less than 300 million, whatever it is we've got. I don't.
We can get one video with 100 streams. We're pumped.
Let's go. Got to start somewhere, right?
I think Bonnie Bramlett did she's way over 6,000. So yeah, we've got a few of them that's done all right, but
Yeah.
we appreciate it 100%.
and-
And,
no, absolutely.
giving back to our community and, coming back home and, teaching some of the kids, what you got to do. And I think the number one thing you teach is be determined and believe in yourself.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
Absolutely. And I appreciate y'all too, and just what you do to support the local music around here. I mean, that's just so valuable. So
Well, we couldn't
Thank
do
y'all
it
for
without
doing
Halpin Music Company and Mr. Matt Van Vors of Macias Insurance / German Insurance if you're up in Jerseyville looking for his place. And, those
Absolutely.
guys have been with us now close to 10 years.
Yeah.
So,
awesome.
Big
excited
shout
about
out to
that.
both of them. Also, want to mention before we jump off here once again, Creative Vets.
Yep.
CreativeVets.com.
CreativeVets.org. It's creative with the TS.org. O-R-G. Check it out, and you can fill out an application or just learn about it or donate or whatever.
And that is a great cause. Also, the Got Your Six.
Got Your Six is right here in Edwardsville, and man, it is just an unbelievable organization. So check it out.
Wanted to throw out one more mention to both of those organizations. Hey, Tommy, thanks so much for stopping down.
Thank you all.
Thanks for blessing us with that song. Man.
Absolutely.
That was it gave me, it was 3 times in one show I got goosebumps, and it's not even chilly in here. I'm actually sweating a little bit. But, so, all right, hey, thanks again for coming. Best of luck to you in the future, my friend, and I hope you have a great show on this Saturday.
Yeah,
Looking
thanks
forward
so
to
much.
it, man.
I
Looking
appreciate
forward to
y'all.
it. Awesome, man. Thanks to everybody for tuning in. As Dennis said, thanks to Halpin and Matt Van Vors. Everybody, whatever you're going to do, remember, get out and support local music and art.